Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and I'm in the basement and I have another project here which involves charging batteries. It's a rather common project for me, and I have the batteries here on the table, and for once it's not one battery but it's actually 10 batteries. This is a power cell for a oops system, like when the power fails and you have an oops system so that the computers does not lose their power. And I've taken the batteries out of my 3 kilowatt oops in my small computer center, and they're bad. And I am trying to charge them to see. The thought was, if I charge the batteries, I might be able to see which of the cells is bad. Like if this one is not taking a charge, I can replace this one. But they have been sitting for about a year without a charge, so I'm not really sure if they're worth anything anymore. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I had to. Well, I didn't have to do anything, but I would like to get this up and running. And I didn't have a power supply that can provide. It's like the batteries. These are each 12-volt cells. They're very small. You can see the individual cells. Each of them has a small cap down here. And 12, 12, 12, 12, 12 is 60 volts along this one and along this one. So it's two systems with 60 volts in each of them. And I did not have a power supply that gives 60 volts. But I have two power supplies, so by putting them into serial, I got 60 volts. And in fact, each of the power supplies, they kind of delivers 33 volts. So together they deliver just about 66 volts. And that's how I'm trying to charge these. But they're pretty bad. If I just for a second take out the power, you can see the voltmeter here. I'll just get some lights. The multimeter, I'm gonna take it out, and you can see the voltage drops to just about half, and it's still dropping. It's not dropping as fast as earlier today, so something is happening. The batteries are taking a bit of charge, so that's good. I'm putting them back, putting the charge back on it. So the thought is to charge them a bit, some hours, and then take the multimeter and check every battery what charge is on it. And I might have some other oopses, and maybe, I don't remember, but maybe they're using the same batteries. So by taking those apart, I might be able to make one that is working again. And here I have a couple of other oops, and I think that actually these two are the same configurations than that the one that this one is the one that I'm playing with right now, and I've taken the battery pack out of it, and the thought was that I would use this oops to power some essential things. Right now all of these servers are without oops, and if something should happen they will just fail. and that's kind of irritating because then you have to boot everything again, and some of it has to be booted in the right order. Like this number 15 is the server that I kind of use the most, and it has some storage up here, and on the back there's some internet connections and stuff too. So if I could have the OOPS power that server and the storage, that would be nice. We do actually not have that many power outages here in Denmark. We have a pretty good power system. I think last year I had 2 power failures here at my data center, and this year we had one in January, but after that we haven't had a power failure in 2 months, and I'm not expecting any, but sometimes it's nice to have some power backup. So that's why I would like to try to get my OOPS up and running again. So I'm gonna try to take off the power and measure the individual cells. I think I'll take off the charge and just wait a few minutes and see if some of them drops the charge very fast. It's probably bad. Okay, I took off the charger for just 20 seconds ago, so let's measure some of the batteries and see how they're doing. Don't expect them to give out 12 volts, they're probably a bit lower than that. This is 6.7, 6.87, 7.29, 6.86, and 6.80. So it looks, this was kind of the worst one. I'll just try the ones on the back, see what they are at. 6.5, 6.8, 6.9, 6.8, and 7.1. When I started, these battery they were much lower than this. I'm not sure. I think this is really bad for the batteries. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get this up and running again. The big problem is that a power pack like this, I think it's around $500 for a battery pack like this, and I'm not really ready to use that amount of money. So I was hoping this could work. I have borrowed a little car charger, this one, for charging a car battery, as far as I know. And it has a funny thing when you connect it to these batteries. Well, you can hear it. I'll just put it on here. I don't know what it's doing, but it sounds wrong. So I was hoping that maybe I could kickstart the individual cells and just give them a bit more power than what they're getting right now. They're actually not really drawing any amount of voltage or of amps. I can't even see the amp meter moving when I take on and off the power. So I don't think they're drawing anything, which is probably not optimal. Yeah, I'll play with this some more. Well, I kind of decided that maybe my charger is not as good as the charger up there, even though right now it's actually taking in some charge. Can we see that? We can. It's actually taking in half an amp, so it's probably not that bad. But I kind of decided that I'm gonna put the battery pack back in the OOPS and let the OOPS charge it. I think actually I'll wait just a little while now that it's actually taking a charge. Just give it 10 minutes or so. Well, I plugged it in, and as you can see it's in there, and it's just doing an error. And I had the meter up here and tried to measure on it, and it doesn't seem like that the OOPS is charging the batteries. So I think I'll take it back down to the basement and try again. There's something about that you need some charge on the batteries before it actually does anything. So I'm hoping that if I can charge the batteries enough on to the OOPS wanna take over itself. So I'm gonna do that. Well, this is one of the really rare. It's really rare that it happens, but I gotta admit I fucked up. When I connected the charging on the end of the batteries, I had put the plus on the minus and the minus on the plus, so that was why I was seeing a charge of half an amp. It was charging in the wrong direction on half of the batteries, so this might be why it wasn't working in the OOPS. So that's kind of embarrassing, and it happens very, very seldom. This is a rare opportunity. So, but now I've found out that I had made this weird thing, and I've put the charger on the right way, and right now it's only doing 100 milliamps or something like that. And I'm gonna leave it on here for a while and see if I can get the charge back up again, and hopefully I can. It would be nice if I could have this battery at 48 volts or 50 volts before I put them in the OOPS again, and see if the OOPS will take over charging the batteries. So that's a bit of an update. So the battery bank has been charging overnight, and it's actually it has taken some charge. The voltage is about just under 50 volts, and I'll just show you the measurements now. The whole battery bank is capsuled in this hard plastic, and to measure it, I've picked or drilled or worn out the plastic in just small holes down here, so that I can put in my meter and measure it like that. And up here we have the multimeter. Let's zoom in on that so that you can see. There we are, and I'll just measure it. Still with the charger on it, and there's like 65.7 volts, and I'm taking out the charger and measuring it again, and there is just over 50 volts. And I've done the same on the other side of them, so we'll just measure that as well. And it has about the same. So I'll take the battery bank back up and try and put it in the OOPS system and see if it will recognize the battery now. I did also make some changes down here to easier be able to charge both systems. So I kind of made some small wires here to make the wiring easier. So this is plus and this is plus, so I'm putting in the plus here and I'm copying it over here, and this is minus and this is minus, so I'm putting in the minus here and copying it over there. So I'll take up the battery bank and bring you along. So here we are, the OOPS is down here, and I'll try to put in the battery bank. It's kind of heavy, it weighs 20 kilograms and that's 45 lbs. Don't know what that is, probably Google knows. It did change. The light's now blinking over here. It's probably testing the battery bank, and it's probably gonna find out that it's still there. I think I'll try and turn off the OOPS. I'll try to boot it and see what happens, and I'll just zoom in so that you can better see it. It should do some testing on the battery. Okay, it found out that the import, the wall circuit is okay. Okay. It's not really doing much. Now it's doing something. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, it's not complaining right now. I don't know what this 25% is meaning. It's probably like the battery is low. I don't have any load on this OOPS right now. It's only just powered on. I have another couple of OOPS. This is an old HP, oops, but I think it's an APC, like this brand, but just a, because I have the exact same, oops is down here. These are branded from IBM, and I expect that they have kind of the same battery pack inside, so I'm gonna bring one of these battery packs down to the basement and see if they're any better. Look what we got here. Exactly the same battery pack. This has some numbers on it. It has, over here it says that it's rating 120 volts, 30 amps. But otherwise it's exactly the same. So I'm eager to put on the meter and see how much voltage there's on this thing. Okay, let's see what the voltage says. Oh, that's wrong. So we have 3.8 volts over 5 batteries. That's not even a volt each. And there's 3.4 there. Oh, this is not good. But they are in kind of the same condition that the other ones was in. That was about the same thing. So let's put on a charge on these as well. See if we can. And I've taken out the power right now, so I can put in these. And this was how I made them. There we are. And I just want to make sure that I put them in right. Plus minus. Plus minus. And we'll just put the leads on so that we can see when power arrives. And I'm plugging in the power supply. And they get 65 volts. So now I'm charging this battery bank as well. And maybe I can save one of them. I have one more down there in my little private data center, which is maybe not that little. So interesting project. I hope you think so. Okay, the batteries has been charging for 5-10 minutes, probably closer to 5 than 10 minutes. But I noticed something just before. Yesterday when I took off the power, it rapidly dropped, and now I'm just gonna take off the power here and notice that we're at 65 volts. And we do still rapidly drop to about 40, but yesterday it rapidly dropped to 10. So it's doing a lot better than the other batteries. So I'm gonna keep charging them a bit. It's 40 volts, that's not that bad. And we are back up again.